Hello everyone. I recently finished reading The Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan and I was pleasantly surprised. So this is going to be my quick review of the book, so let's begin. The Theft of Swords is the first book in the Raira Revelations trilogy. Now I know that the spelling makes you think it's Rairia, but the author himself pronounces it as Raira, so it's the Raira Revelations for us. The series was initially meant to be a total of 6 books, but was published as a trilogy. So each book here is divided into 2 individual books. The author also has written prequels to this series, set in the same world, and as far as I know, it also follows the same characters. So there's a lot of books here in this world to get lost into. Coming to this book, this was one of the easiest reads in this year for me. The way the author writes makes the book very accessible to readers. You should have no difficulty whatsoever following the story. And honestly, I really like this about the book. You generally don't find many books which are not trying to be some deep and complex stories, but The Theft of Swords does an excellent job here. Now coming to the story, it goes like this. We follow our 2 main characters, Royce and Hadrian, who are also known as the Raira, which is the Elven word for 2. Royce and Hadrian are mercenaries who carry out difficult tasks for money. The book basically opens with our protagonists accepting a task to steal a sword. Now for such an easy task, they are offered unusually large amount of money. And as you guessed it, there's something fishy going on. As it turns out, they are framed for the murder of a king. Now don't worry if you haven't read the book, this is not a spoiler, it is actually given on the back of the book. It goes like this. They killed the king, they pinned it on 2 men they chose poorly. Now tell me that didn't pique your interest. That is amazing. There are actually a lot of things going on in this book, happening constantly. It feels like we are constantly on the move, thus the pacing seems very fast, and thus the reader is not bored at all. The series is written such that the plot kind of concludes at the end of each book. However, the larger storyline still continues. So if you're not really tempted to pick the next book after finishing the first, it's totally okay. And by that I mean that there is no big cliffhanger in the end. I actually finished this one a couple of weeks ago and I haven't myself picked up the next book yet. This book is about 650 pages long and you just fly through it effortlessly. Coming to my favorite part, the characters. As you might expect, Royce and Hadrian are the main highlight of the book. They are very well done. Their personalities are well explored and we definitely feel like we know them. Apart from the 2 main characters, every other character is also beautifully written. The author really excels in showing us various shades of a character. What I mean by this is, the characters have depth to them. The characters cannot be defined using a single personality trait, and I really love this about the book. Talking about the writing, as I said earlier, this is a very accessible book and you should have no problems even if you are new to reading fantasy. The author has a really versatile writing. He writes humor, action and even emotional scenes equally good. So according to me, if you want a fantasy series which is not super heavy or very complex but has well done characters and is easy to follow, this is definitely for you. I highly recommend this book to all of you out there and I'm sure that you will have a lot of fun reading this. This book was a 4 out of 5 for me and I had a lot of fun reading it. So that was my short review of the first book of the Raira Revelations series. Hope you like it. Do like, share and subscribe, and as always, happy reading.